Hey everybody, welcome back to another Judgment commentary of Onimonogatari, but today I'm going to be checking out the final episode of this arc, episode 4. But last time, on episode 3, Araragi assembled the entire gang of 3 here, the trio of Ononoki, Mayoi, and Shinobu, and well, at first, a bit of chaos ensued, involving biting and stuff. But after all that was taken care of, they stopped for a second to try to figure out what to do about the shadow darkness thingy that's been chasing them around, and well, before they could really get anywhere with that, the darkness showed up and forced them all to retreat. Well, most of them. Because even though Araragi, Mayoi, and Ononoki managed to escape, Shinobu is nowhere to be found. In fact, it seems as though Araragi and Shinobu's connection has been severed. Initially, they thought it might have been because Shinobu herself got frickin' consumed by the thing, but given that Araragi still does maintain some of his vampiric powers, it would seem as though she's still alive and well, just that their connection via his shadow doesn't exist anymore. Because apparently that thing just swept clean over his shadow, and in doing so, severed the connection of it. Not sure how that works. But either way, they're only left with one option now. They have to find the only person who could theoretically tell them what the darkness is, and that would be Gaien Izuko. She said that she knows friggin' everything. She says there's nothing that she doesn't know. Therefore, if they go and ask her about the darkness, maybe she can tell them what it is. And it just so happens that they stumbled upon her house, apparently, or she just happened to be in that building that they went to just so they could find a phone to give her a call. No matter the circumstance, it's quite the coincidence. But the darkness. What is the darkness? We still don't know for sure what this thing is, and we don't have much to go off of, but I do have one potential idea that may be what the darkness is, but I don't have much faith in this. I'm just gonna throw it out there. Perhaps, think of it like this way. What is the name of this arc? Shinobu Time. What is the usual naming scheme for these? It's always the name of a character followed by the apparition that is involving them. And in this case, it's not named after an apparition, it's just called Time. But what if the darkness is time? Crazy, but perhaps the darkness is the ever-ravenous, all-consuming force of time. That would explain some things. For starters, it would explain why they can't physically see the darkness, because you can't see time. But, like time, the darkness could be felt. They could sense that it was there, even if they couldn't see it. And time works the same way. We can't see time, but we can feel time progressing. But like I said, I don't have too much faith in this idea, because it doesn't explain really why it just keeps popping up around Shinobu and absorbing everyone who's ever heard of her. There's not really any reason why time itself would manifest and do that, but probably not. Really, the biggest thing making me think that is that the arc is called Shinobu Time, so it's not too sturdy of a premise, but whatever. In any case, let's just start episode 4 and find out for ourselves. I also put on a jacket, but anyway, what an episode that was. A great end to this little arc, and I guess everything wound up being okay with Shinobu. We didn't get to see her. We only got to hear her voice at the end a few months later, but I guess she was just chilling at the school this whole time. Huh. Yeah, time theory didn't pan out, but that was obvious. Still, what it ended up actually being was interesting. It was just a force of non-existence. I thought that it might be like an antimatter thing, and it is. It ended up being exactly that. That it just erases whatever it touches, and assumingly it just literally erases them, like they're just gone. It doesn't like warp them to the afterlife or anything. But Mayoi sticking around and shirking her responsibilities as a lost snail cow thing is what caused this thing to come into being. And yeah, the pieces were there. If you had connected that that's what was going on with Mayoi, then you could have just put it all together. I mean, realistically, maybe if I had put more thought into the fact that it showed up when Shinobu stopped being a vampire and was being thought of as a god, then could have thought of it there too. And may I say, somehow this arc resulted in Araragi getting kissed by 3 different individuals here, and by some weird, just alignment of the planets, the kiss with Mayoi was the least awkward one. I don't know how the hell that happened, but it did. I guess the sentimentality of the rest of that scene just kinda melted away what would otherwise be a very awkward moment. I mean, yeah, her admitting that she was in love with Araragi right by the end there. Not exactly a shocker. It seems to happen a lot with him. Still though, man, that's just a bittersweet conclusion. She's finally moved on. She's stuck around longer than she really needed to, but she just couldn't bear to leave Araragi. He saved her, led her back home. She just wanted to stick around with him a little bit longer. But she couldn't. Apparently she could not, because some force of the universe just doesn't want that to happen. And speaking of said force of the universe, Ogi, what she said at the end was weird. She indicated that her job seemed to be the same thing as this force of darkness, this anti-existence. She said that she is, righting wrongs and dispelling lies and whatever. That's what this thing's all about. Yeah, overall, this has to be the most conclusive end to an arc that we've ever had, in the sense that it fully, completely wrapped up a character's story, which up until now has, never happened. Oh. Unless they bring her back at some point for whatever reason, but for now, it would seem as though Mayo has finally moved on. She's in the afterlife now. Also, the next one, Koi Monogatari. That one, Hitagi End. Yeah, Hitagi End. That is interesting. That would be Senjugahara, yes? Senjugahara End? What's that supposed to mean? End of what? Her? I hope not. But as already mentioned, it is the longest arc of Monogatari series' second season. It's got 6 episodes in there. And if it's a Senjugahara focused arc, that's pretty interesting, because her arc in Bake was one of the shortest ones, 2 episodes dedicated to it. And now here we've got a full 6 episode arc, apparently dedicated to her. But yeah, seeing the end of Mayo's story here was very heartwarming, and Araragi's continuing attempts to just make it not end right here were typical of Araragi. This is the way he is. He's non-compromising. He doesn't like to compromise in circumstances like this. He didn't want her to leave just as much as she didn't want to. But this was the only way. Sure, there was plan C, which was just stay lost with her forever, but that was not an option. It was a non-option. It would mean abandoning everything else just for the sake of being with her. Would he really be willing to do that? No. It was just a temporary solution because, like he said, he'd have to think about what to do with everybody else, and that wouldn't work out. So she had to go. This was her time. I mean, realistically, her time was months ago, but it was do it then or get eaten by darkness. So overall, a very interesting arc. We got to learn more about Shinobu's past. We got to put a nice little bow on Mayoi's storyline, and, well, can't go wrong there. Before I keep rambling on forever, I think that's going to be it, guys. Thank you for watching. Make sure to leave a like and a comment if you enjoyed. Subscribe to be updated on more. That would be great. Next time, we begin Koi Monogatari. Unless people want me to check out Hana first. Probably not. We've already pretty much been cemented in that we're going in release order here, so I'm going to stick to that. And apologies if I was a bit shivery. I should have went and put on a jacket before I even started. But usually I have an issue with it being too hot in here, and all of a sudden it's too cold. This room can't make up its mind. Ah well, but I've been recording for 50 minutes, so thanks once again, guys. Hope to catch you next time for the beginning of Koi Monogatari. Let me know what you thought of the episode and of the video. That would be great. But till we meet again, I will see you guys later.